There are very specific things that successful YouTube creators do before they ever hit record that most creators either skip entirely or do at the wrong time. And doing this gives them an unfair advantage. And this is coming from someone who's worked behind the scenes of over 2,000 women's YouTube channels and helped them generate millions of views and revenue. Doing the things that I'm going to talk about in this video before you film help make all the work that you do, the filming, the editing, everything more productive and more successful. You'll see better results and you'll get more of an ROI from all of your efforts. And these are 7 specific things that I do with every single video that I create, and it's the exact process I use with all of my high performing clients. So I'm going to break down this entire methodology for you, and I'm literally going to show you the step-by-step process that separates creators who consistently grow from those who stay stuck. My name is Erika Vieira, and I've been behind the scenes producing and strategizing YouTube channels for women for nearly 10 years. And I'm now bringing all of that knowledge, insights, and yes, sometimes a little bit of tea to you. So if you are a high-achieving female business owner or content creator looking to leverage YouTube for more income, impact, and influence, then you're in the right place, and I am excited that you're here. Ladies, class is in session. Here is what I see happening every single day. Creators come to me overwhelmed, burnt out, and frustrated. They're either creating too much content or not enough content, but it all boils down to one thing. They're not properly planning their videos. YouTube success is really about the planning. And I have a very specific way of planning videos with my clients. When I work with people, we spend dedicated time, usually at the end of each month, planning their content calendar for the following month. We take the time to outline exactly what content is going to be uploaded and on what date. This process usually takes about 90 minutes, but it is the foundation of a very intentional strategy. Anyone you talk to who is truly successful at YouTube, they're actually reaping the rewards from YouTube, are generally doing something similar each month with their content planning. So why not act like the big guys do, right? Why not do what the successful people are doing? So what I usually see happening instead is people coming up with a topic and then jumping into filming, trying to figure out later on what the title is, what the thumbnail is, or trying to figure out a better structure during editing, or God forbid, during the actual filming itself. They're essentially working a lot harder than they need to be. When you don't plan properly, the quality of your content suffers, and you end up creating videos that feel rushed or unfocused or just don't connect with your audience the way that they should. If this is you, let me know in the comments. And the other thing that happens is that you're never able to get those big hero videos or the videos that take a little bit more planning and effort because you're in this hamster wheel. It's always like one day I'll do it. The best way to approach this is to be intentional with your planning and prioritize the time needed before filming. Set a date and a time on your calendar every single month, or what I personally do is I actually book the dates in my calendar that I plan to film, and then I make sure that the following 7 steps that I'm going to share with you are done prior to each filming session for each video that I'm going to film that day. With my clients and the channels I produce, we do it a little bit differently, and what we do is we meet for 90 minutes, like I said, at the end of each month to plan out their schedule for the following month. So there's different ways to do it, but the way I do it with my own videos, the way that I do it for my clients' videos, the most important is that you do these 7 things I'm going to tell you about per video before you hit record. This sequence forces you to plan, and it makes you take the time needed to create really good content. That's exactly what separates creators who consistently succeed from those who are always struggling. So let me break down those 7 things for you. The success of any channel truly lies in the video topics that you select. This is a hugely important part of the process, and it's where a lot of creators get it wrong. It doesn't matter how beautiful your thumbnails are or your backdrop. It doesn't matter how perfect your titles might be or how SEO driven they are. If you don't get the topics right for your particular audience, it is an uphill battle to grow. Your topic is really what drives everything else. What we do is we start with a list of topics, and then we match them up to dates in the calendar. Now, there is some flexibility in the schedule. It's not completely set in stone, but at least there is something there on that date that you're planning to upload. You're being very intentional about what you're going to talk about and when. And this also helps in making sure that if you're trying different types of topics, or you've got, say, a haul versus a brand collaboration versus a vlog, that you're spacing them out and putting them in the calendar together in a time that makes sense. Most creators just wing their topics week by week, but successful creators, they are strategic about this on a monthly basis. They understand that topic selection is the foundation of everything else that follows. And if you want to learn exactly how I teach people to pick the best topics, those winning topics that are actually going to grow your YouTube channel, you're going to want to join my live YouTube masterclass that is coming up, because in that class, I talk about exactly how I help people pick topics that convert viewers into subscribers and subscribers into customers. But for now, just know this: before you do anything else, you need to nail down your topic. Everything else builds from there. All right, we've got our topic locked in. Now we immediately move on to the title. And remember, this is all things we're doing before we're filming. And here is why the order in which we do things matters. Your title dictates everything that comes after that. It sets expectations for your thumbnail. It guides your hook. It determines the entire direction of your video. Now, I know that actually a lot of people leave the title to the end because it is so easy to change and adjust. And I understand that thinking, I get it. But doing your title in this order really gives you an anchor to then create your hook, because you definitely want to deliver on the promise of the title and the thumbnail in the video itself, especially in the hook, the first part of the video. The best way to at least try doing that is to have that title in mind before you even start filming. And yes, the title is very easy to change later, but you do want to put some thought into what that title is going to be, because the packaging of your video makes a huge difference in how successful it ends up doing. And here's a really nice side effect that happens when you follow this process step by step. You might first start with the topic, but then work on the title. And then if you can't come up with a really good or compelling title for it, you might then have to adjust your topic. And that's part of the reason why we do things in this order. It almost becomes guardrails against creating a video and a topic that just will not perform well because you can't seem to figure out how to package it. And if you can't package your topic in a way that makes people want to click, maybe that topic isn't quite right yet. And this process forces you to think strategically about whether your content idea actually has legs before you invest more time in creating it. Your title is part of your packaging. And on YouTube, packaging is everything. So don't leave it by chance, make it part of your planning process. So now that we have our topic and our title, we can conceptualize a thumbnail that works with both the title and the topic and complements it perfectly. And notice that I said conceptualize. We're not actually designing a thumbnail right now, but we are coming up with the concept and the text, the words that we're going to use on the thumbnail, if we use any words at all. I do like for the thumbnail to be able to live on its own without the title, but it also needs to complement your title seamlessly. And remember what I said earlier, it's extremely important that your video delivers on the promise of both the title and the thumbnail. And when you conceptualize your thumbnail at this stage in the process, you're setting clear expectations for what your video needs to deliver. And here's where this gets really intentional. Because we now have options to test up to 3 thumbnails inside of YouTube itself, I will often come up with at least 2 different concepts at this phase. Or if not 2 completely different concepts, then 2 to 3 different text options for the same visual concept that we will plan to test later on. And here's a bonus tip about your thumbnail concepts. The simpler, the better. And the more direct, the better. This is especially true if you're a beginner YouTube creator. If you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of experience with this yet, with creating compelling titles and thumbnails, you are so much better off making your thumbnail concept simpler rather than trying to be too clever or complex. I did an entire video on this, so you're going to want to watch that after this video. The key takeaway here is this. Your thumbnail concept needs to happen early on in the process. And when you conceptualize it at this stage before filming, you're making sure that the promise aligns perfectly with what you're actually going to deliver in the video itself. All right, now with your topic, title, and thumbnail concept locked in, now you can craft a hook that delivers on the promise that you made. Your hook needs to validate the click and create intrigue for what's coming. And this is where the magic happens. You want to take some time with your hook because this is what determines whether someone stays for your entire video or clicks away in the first 15 seconds. So your hook is that first 15, 20, 30 seconds of the video. And this is why it matters so much. Your hook is directly related to retention, and retention is everything on YouTube. Here is something really important for you to understand. A video doesn't even count as a view unless somebody watches it for longer than 30 seconds. So it is absolutely important that people watch for longer than 30 seconds. And your hook plays a major part in making that happen. The more watch time you accumulate, the more YouTube is likely to push your video out to new audiences or even your own existing audience. So your hook definitely plays a crucial part in getting people to stay, especially viewers who are new to your channel or more casual viewers. Now, one thing to note too is you do not want your hooks to be too long. I find that sometimes people's intros and hooks to their video can drag on forever. Your hook should be short and snappy, and they can be anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds, just enough to grab the attention and get the viewer thinking, okay, this video is for me, I'm gonna stay and watch it. And here is the really beautiful thing about doing your hook at this particular stage. Because you already know your topic, your title, your thumbnail concept, your hook writing actually becomes a lot easier. You know exactly what promise you need to deliver on, so you can craft those opening words to perfectly set everything up that follows. And one note, I'm not saying you have to script your whole video, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a second, but the one thing that I do recommend that people script out and plan is their hook. You want to get the words perfect, and it's worth it to take the time to plan all this out. So now we get to one of the most critical steps that separates professional creators from amateurs: creating your outline. And I'm going to be honest with you, this is where most creators completely drop the ball. This and the hook. Well, honestly, this whole thing. That's why I'm making this video. But here's what happens when you skip this step of writing your outline. You start filming and suddenly you're rambling. You're going down random tangents. You're losing your train of thought. You totally forget a main point that you wanted to talk about. Your viewers get confused, they lose interest, and they click away. Does that sound familiar? Is that something that you've ever dealt with? Let me know in the comments. Your video outline is your roadmap to keeping viewers engaged from start to finish. It is where you strategically plan every moment of your viewer's journey, from that initial hook we talked about all the way through to the end of the video, to your call to action, whatever you want people to do at the end. So I want you to think of it this way. Would you take a road trip without a GPS? No, of course not. Yet creators try to film videos without any sense of direction all the time, hoping that they'll figure it out as they go. That is a recipe for disaster. When you take the time to map out your content beforehand, something magical happens. Your delivery becomes confident, your message stays focused, and your viewers stay glued to their screens because they can sense that you know exactly where you're gonna take them. And you don't necessarily need a whole script, and we're gonna talk about that in a minute, but you absolutely need some kind of roadmap. This is where you'll decide what points you'll cover, how you'll transition between them, and how you'll keep people watching until the very end. This step alone will transform your content from scattered thoughts into compelling, binge-worthy videos. All right, so now here is where we get to an optional but very powerful step if you choose to do it: writing an actual script. Now, I want to be very clear. Not everybody needs to script their videos. I certainly don't script all of mine, and there's a lot of video concept that really would not make sense to have any kind of script for it, right? So this doesn't apply to everybody. But there are times when having a script becomes really helpful. Take my creator analysis videos. Those are the deep dive ones that I'm doing on this channel, where I'm breaking down someone like Susan Yara or Abby Sharp or the Wizard Liz. These videos require extensive research, very specific details, and precise information that I do not want to get wrong. And so for those videos, I script. Something like this is more of an outline. And the beauty of scripting is this: yes, there is a lot of work at the beginning, but it transforms your entire filming experience. And when I use a teleprompter with a script, filming does become a lot easier and faster than without it. So while scripting definitely isn't mandatory and it doesn't necessarily make sense for all video types, if you do choose to do it, this is exactly when it should happen: after you've laid the groundwork with your topic, title, thumbnail, hook, and outline. All right, now we get to something that I call the editing notes. Okay, not a lot of people do this, but this is where the magic of preparation really shows. Whether you work with an editor or you edit it yourself, this step is crucial because it's where you capture that creative vision while everything is fresh in your mind, right? While you're planning it, while you're working on it. Here's my process. I take my outline or script and I go through it systematically, line by line. I personally use Dropbox for this, but you can do this in Google Docs or whatever platform works right for you. I like to be able to highlight things, things and put notes from my editor. And as I'm reading through the script, I highlight specific areas where I know that I want very specific editing elements. Maybe it's text on screen, maybe it's clips from other videos, or a certain visual effect. And same thing with music. If there's certain music that I want to put, I will link it in there. The key is being really crystal clear about your vision. And I make detailed notes right inside of the script so there's no guesswork. For my creator analysis videos, I'll create a separate folder in addition to the script with all the clips and videos I want to use, with photos, complete with timestamps, and very specific instructions. This level of communication makes all the difference. If you have an editor, you can't expect your editor to guess or to know what they need to do, especially if you're somebody that you worked with for less than 3 months. Every editor works differently, but the goal really is the same. You want them to understand exactly what you're envisioning for your video. And even though I've worked with my editor for, at this point, almost I don't know how long, but it's been a long time. Just, you can put it in here for how long we've been working together. And she's amazing. I love her. But it's still really helpful because sometimes I change my mind on how I like to do things, or sometimes I want to experiment with different things. And how is she supposed to know if I don't communicate that to her in a very clear, methodical way? When you do this preparation work up front, the editing process becomes a lot more smooth and efficient. You're not scrambling, trying to find clips, or trying to remember what visual you wanted in a particular moment. Plus, this planning helps you stay organized during the actual filming. You'll know exactly what additional B-roll shots you need to capture to bring your vision to life. By the time you finish this step, you've done all the heavy lifting. All that's left is the fun part, which is filming. Here's where everything comes together. You finally get to hit that record button like I'm doing right now. But notice I said finally, because by this point, you've done something that most creators don't ever do. You're actually prepared. Think about how different this feels compared to your old approach. No more staring at the camera, wondering what to say first. No more rambling and hoping you'll stumble onto something good as you keep talking and talking and talking. No more filming for an hour only to realize you really have no idea how to edit it into something coherent, or that you even really have a good topic that you like to begin with. When you follow these steps in this order that I just gave you, filming becomes the easiest part of the entire process. You know exactly what you're going to say, you know why you're saying it, and you know how it all fits together to serve your audience and your goals on YouTube. And another benefit is that you become more confident. Your confidence shows through the camera. Your message is clear and compelling. Your content has that polished, professional feel that makes viewers think, wow, this person really knows what they're doing. And it's not about not being authentic, right? It's about being the best version of yourself. And here's the really beautiful part. Because you've done all this prep work, you're not just creating content anymore. You're being intentional and creating strategic content that actually works. Content that builds your perpetual profit pipeline, which I talk a lot about on this channel. Content that turns casual viewers into loyal subscribers, and subscribers into customers. That is what it means to work smarter, not harder. This is how you finally get an ROI from all the effort you put into your channel. This is the difference between hoping your content works and knowing that it will. So go ahead, hit record, because you have earned it. So there you have it, the 7 smart things that you need to do before you push record on every single video. And this isn't just theory, ladies. This is the exact process that I follow with every single video that I create, and it's what I use with all my clients and the channels that I produce. When you follow this methodology, when you plan your topic, craft your title, conceptualize your thumbnail, write your hook, create your outline, script if needed, and prepare your editing notes, and then film, you're not just making content anymore, you're creating strategic content that actually drives results. All right, so tell me in the comments, how do you plan your videos? Is this something that you think you can start implementing? Let's have a chat about it in the comments. I want to know how you do it. And remember, this isn't about working harder, right? It's about being intentional with each piece of content you create so you can finally see real growth and real returns from all your hard work. The creators who consistently succeed, they don't wing it. They follow a system, and now you have that system too. This is exactly the kind of strategic thinking I dive deep into in my YouTube bootcamp, where I help women creators build their signature YouTube brand and accelerate their growth. It is my signature YouTube group coaching program for women creators. So if that sounds like something you want to learn a little bit more about or might be interested in, click in the description to add your name to the waitlist. I would love to have you. And if you have questions about it at all, don't hesitate to comment below or DM me on Instagram. Your future self will thank you for taking the time to plan your YouTube videos and your YouTube channel properly. So if you want more from me here on YouTube, watch this video where I share a big mistake that I see people making with their YouTube thumbnails and titles. Until next time, keep shining, keep creating, and most importantly, keep being you. And make sure you subscribe if you made it all the way to the end. Mwah.